Hey everyone, Mr. Zern here. Welcome back. Today we're going to be working again in App Inventor, and we're going to be creating a program that basically asks the user his or her name. It's going to store that person's name as a variable. Then, using concatenation, the program should say hello to the person using his or her name. All right, and of course, appropriate layout and spacing should be utilized. So this is going to be kind of a continuation of what we did in Blockly, so very similar to that. So let me just kind of run that program here. So here, I'm sort of saying hello, and that I was storing this variable and sort of prompting with, hey, what is your name? And then printing using some concatenation this hello, and then the variable name, and then I added a little bit extra. So let's kind of take a look at that. So hello, what's your name? Well, my name is Adam. And I'll press OK, and it says, hello, Adam. It's great. It's going to be a great semester. So we're going to do something very similar to this in App Inventor. So I'll click the link here to App Inventor. You want to do the same thing. Get mine spooled up here. Kind of slowly, of course. We'll just kind of come over here while it's doing that. All right, so I'm going to create a new project. You can kind of see where we're headed here in a moment, but I'll start a new program. Going to give it a name that you're going to know what it is. So I'll say hello, and we could do something like your name. It doesn't like any special characters, and I'll call it 1_1 because it's the first version of my assignment. So that's going to kind of give me a new interface here to work with, and you could choose between phone, mirror your screen, or tablet, and I'm going to go with tablet here. Come on, you can do it. There it is. So let me pick tablet size. Okay, so last time when we did this, we pulled out a label, and I could do that. And again, we want to label these things here, so I'm going to rename it, and I could, I'll just call it text label for now. Okay, and again, we can go under the properties and do a little bit of formatting. So I can tell it to fill the parent, kind of fills that space. And we can, of course, change the boldness. We can change the font size. You can do a couple of things there. I'm going to set it to align. You could, you've got lots of options there, what you want to do. And so basically this label allows me to display text on the screen. You could have multiple labels if you want. All right, so next I'm going to bring over a text box. And I'm going to call this name. Call it anything you want, really. Name text box, question text box, whatever. Something's kind of descriptive there. All right. So again, in the properties, I'm going to go and format it. And so I usually like to fill the entire piece there. There's times we wouldn't want to do that. We'll get into that later. I can always change the height of it if I wanted, whether it's by percent or by pixels. I'll probably just leave it go as is at the moment here. And we can say there's hint. And so right now, if I was to show this on my tablet, what would be showing up in this little box would actually say hint for text box 1. And so you can put whatever you want in there or nothing, but I usually like to give the person a bit of a hint. So I'm going to ask the question, like, what is your name? Question mark. All right, and so that'll kind of that would show up there, in that spot. Is it still? I feel like I lost it. Hold on. Let's go. There we go. That's one. What is your name? Okay, great. Now, so we're going to have a label that's going to display some text. I've got this ability to enter some text, and we need some way to click a button or basically say, okay, I'm done, and sort of enter that information. And so that's where a button comes in. And we did that with the Blockly, right? When I was playing it, I had that ability to press the OK button. So we'll do something like that here. I'll bring over a button and name button. Notice I like to use camel case. You could do whatever. All right, so I've got my name button, and again, now I've got some abilities to do some stuff here, so I could center the text in the button or left or right align it. Again, I'll probably go back to fill, and it's just kind of pull it across there. I think we can change the color of the button if we want. Can I make it green? Yep. And I could change the text instead of text for button 1 because that's what it says. It's pretty lame. click here or press here, something like that. And we could also bold it if we wanted. I have some options to do that. We could change the font, things like that. Okay, so we've got all these pieces here, and I think I may have text. So like it says text for label 1. You could change that, and there's a way we're going to change it here in a moment. I'll put question there. So now it just says question. So at this point, we've got this ability where it's going to display some text. I've got this text box that I can enter text, and then this ability to click the button and do something. We could see those things are there, but it's not really doing anything. And that's because we need to sort of add the coding end of it. And so this is where that abstraction comes in, and here we've got these puzzle pieces. And so we're going to kind of do that over here on the block side. So I'm in the designer side. In the top right-hand corner, I'm going to click blocks. All right, so here we've got a similar drawer, again, kind of like in Blockly where I can pull things out. And so one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to click here on the button. And so basically it's like, hey, when you're doing things on the button, such as when you click on it, when you do a long click, when you do touchdown, when you like let go of it, I'm just going to do click. We use that one a lot. And so basically I'm saying, hey, when I press click, I want you to do something. All right, well, what do we want to do? Well, I want you to take basically what I put in the text box, and I want you to take that information and store that as a variable and then print something out. All right, so let's kind of get into that. So first I've got variable. And as we've talked about before, we've got global variables. So this would be this. And I've got, local variables, which only, take effect inside this event handler. And there's pros and cons to using both. I think we could use either one. I think I'm going to use just this right here. And, it says name, and I know I'm doing name, but that just defaults to that because, like, what's the name of your variable going to be? And I could, make it say anything like person name. It just happened to be name because it's saying what's your name of your variable. All right, so initialize local variable person name to what? Well, what I want you to label it to is this. So I'm going to come. I'm stuck in there. Delete that. All right, so in the text box. So what I want you to do, well, I would like you to, and you can pull any of these out really, but I need this puzzle piece and not background, but the text. So when I click the button, whatever's in that text box is going to be, stored as the variable. Okay. Well, then what's next? All right. Well, if we look over here, the person says, what is your name? And when I press enter, it stores it as name. And then I need to concatenate basically like hello and the person's name. Okay. So let's do that. So I can say, hey, text label. And I can pull, and again, basically we've got two types of puzzle pieces. We've got this one and this one. And you can look pretty hard off and just pull out the first one of the style that I need. And then I change it to what I need it to say. So in this case, text. And now I think it'll pop in there because it didn't like that. So set the text label to what? All right, well, I need to get some concatenation here. So this little join piece. Right? So again, let me just go back in text. You can see this little join piece. And I want to join together a couple things. So grab some text, and here's like an empty text box. And I want it to say something like, like hello, comma, space, and then hello what? Well, I want to say hello name, so variable. And I want it to get what? Well, I want it to get the person's name. All right. So again, we've got the question here. And so what is it, what is it going to say? Right now it just says question. Now that might be kind of weird if it says that. So I might just get rid of the text and have it say nothing up there at the moment because it might look kind of weird with question. We've got this box here where it's going to have a hint, what is your name? And then when I click enter, it's going to do something with that information. So when the name button is clicked, we're going to basically create a local variable called person name. And I want you to set that to here. And then basically it's going to change that text label to hello and the person's name. So I'm going to test it here. Let's see what happens on my end. Again, you're not going to be able to see it, but I'll scan it here. So I'm pressing the scan QR code on my tablet. And I'm scanning it, and you'll see that the box on the screen is going to disappear when that happens. And it's loading it. 15 whole percent. Again, usually it's a little quicker than this, 20%. All right, so I'm going to try it here on my end and see how I did. And it worked great. And so why don't you try that out and see how it works for yourself? There's definitely lots of variations of how you could do it, but this is definitely one of them. All right, I will talk to you guys later.